So the first pose we're going to do is going to require some equipment. Now, you can see here that I've got this stool. I doubt very much that you've got a stool like that, but you've probably got something that's better. Maybe the back of a sofa. Maybe if you have a yoga chair, you can put a bolster. Sometimes we work in class like that with a bolster over the back of the chair. It's not quite so good as working over the back of the sofa or across a table if you have a high table, or you can put a bolster onto quite a high table. But I'll just show you what I mean so that you can have a look around your house or your room and see, can you get something like this? So you can see I'm lifting up onto my toes. Now, if it was a table, I would be stretching my arms across. You have to make sure that whatever you're using is safe. So because I haven't got a table, I'm taking my hands down and then I'm seeing, can I release the heels down? So this is very, very nice on the lower back. So just stop the video, have a look around. You can even do it over kitchen cabinets if you've got enough space to kind of take your hands back. A kitchen island, if you've got one of those fancy things. As I say, a table works quite well, a dining table to work across. You can use a bolster on there or cushions, pillows. It's so that you can get this lift up and over. We did this last week in our Adho Mukha Virasana. You remember where we had the blanket and we pulled back? We will be doing that again today and lift it up and over. It's the same kind of action. So hopefully you've got yourself set up with something. Take the feet hip width apart. Now coming reasonably close and lift up onto your toes. So we're lifting the frontal pelvic bones up, extending, lengthening. So if you're working along a table, you take your hands over the table like that. Those of you working onto a chair seat, you can just take the hands down. So onto a chair back, I mean. And then you let the heels release down. So as you let the heels release down, this area here starts to get a very nice opening action. So extend your heels down, breathe, fine inhalation, fine exhalation. It really does open out the vertebral column, so it really pulls those vertebrae so that they're just opening out, creating space for the discs. Very nice to do if you've got compression in the discs. So extend down with the heels. Breathe. All right, and slowly coming up out of the action. So I do hope you found something that you could work with. Now, for you working at home, again, you're going to be in a better position than I am because I haven't got a sofa, and this works best on a sofa. What I have got is 3 chairs, which I'm going to set up a little bit like a sofa. These yoga chairs are not ideal, to be perfectly honest, but we have to be creative and we have to make the best of what we've got. What we're going to do is we're going to lift up, we're going to turn, you imagine that this is your sofa here, and we're going to extend. All right, so again, you may need to turn off the video, have a look around, see what you've got. When you've done one side, you will do the other. So, you know, you can shift from one side of the sofa to the other. If you haven't got anything at all, then you may remember last week we did a Bharavajasana twist on the bolster where we lay down. I'll just show that in a moment so that you can see that action. But in the meantime, those of you working like this, hopefully you will have found yourself something that you can use like a sofa that's in place of this. So I will show in the top corner how to do the Bharavajasana twist on the bolster. So if you haven't got a sofa, and maybe you've got a yoga room, so you haven't got any other furniture in there, and you can use the Bharavajasana bolster twist instead. So we're going to get this rotational action, extend forwards, stretching your hands down. You can see that I've got my back hand onto the back of the chair here so that I can get a really nice stretch and extension. Because I'm using the yoga chairs, I've put a mat onto the yoga chair because my leggings will slide around on this. Okay, and coming up and changing sides. If you're working on the bolster on the floor, then you get up and you turn around and you change sides on the bolster on the floor. Those of you working onto a sofa, again, it's this lift and rotation and extension. Those with neck problems and upper back problems, then really just get that lift and rotational action without too much disturbance in the neck and the upper back. So observe where you have the stretch, where you have the compression. See, can you lift and lengthen out of any compression that's being created in the body. And coming up. We'll take the feet wide. I'll demonstrate first and then we'll do together. We're going to turn, extend out, get the rotation and use the wall for the alignment that it offers. Hand down, roll back. Those who have not got a wall to work to, kitchen cupboards are also fine. Maybe you've got the back of a sofa, something like that. But if not, you work to the back of your mat. So this is your alignment area. So you work with your feet. The left outer foot will line up with the back edge of the mat and the heel lines up with the instep of the back foot. That means the back leg heel comes slightly off the mat. Now obviously if you slip because your floor is particularly slippery, then you bring yourself onto the mat and you just see if you can get the precision and alignment from that. Okay, so choose either back edge of your mat, middle of your mat, or with your back to the wall. Take the feet wide, feet facing forwards. Now you don't want your heels too close to the wall because it will make you tip forwards if that's the case. So have, a few centimeters away from the wall. Turn your left foot in slightly. Turn the whole of your right leg and foot out. Now check the alignment. Those working to the back edge of the mat, the outside of your right foot should line up with the back edge of the mat, and then the heel of the front foot lines up with the instep of the back foot. People working at the wall, heel of the front foot lines up with the instep of the back foot. You have to get this rotational action. You will feel that back leg, your left buttock, will have come away from the wall. But we don't want to push it back to the wall and let this knee come forwards. Can you see that? I don't know whether that's visible on the camera. Here I'm pushing that back to the wall and this has all gone to pot. So this is the important leg. This is an afterthought. Well, not an afterthought, but it's an added extra, okay? So yes, we want to get that lift and rotation here, but this is the important thing. If you lose this, then you'll not do your knee any favors, which we don't want to make any knee problems in these poses. All right, stretch the arms out, extend, lengthen, and come into the action. Bring that top hand down, roll the top shoulder up and back, draw up the front leg kneecap, lift the tighten the knees and tighten the thigh muscle, frontal thigh, so that it draws and lifts the kneecap up into the thigh muscle. And then stretch your top arm up. See, have you lost the rotation on the front leg? Rotate it, turn it, turn it, turn it. Those working with the back to the wall, see, can you maintain that front leg action and start to take the back leg buttock towards the wall? All right, coming up, turn the feet to face forwards. Turn the feet again to the other side. We're going to go straight to the other side. Get your alignment so it's a little trickier to get the alignment in these actions. Roll and rotate. Feel what's happening. Those of you working with the back to the wall, feel what's happening in that back leg buttock. Can you take it back? Can you rotate more here? Now extend, extend. Take the hand down, top arm onto the top hip. Roll that top shoulder up and back. And again, roll the top shoulder up and back. Draw up through this front leg. Turn it. We really have to enjoy these poses, get all of the actions. Then take your top arm up. And breathe. And observe. Where is this different to your normal Trikonasana? Now, active in your back leg. Lift the inner arch of your back leg. Lift the inner ankle of your back leg and activate the inner thigh of your back leg and lift up. So we don't want to rest onto that front leg hip. Okay, and bring the feet together. We're going to come into Uttanasana. So just stand in Tadasana with the feet slightly apart and have a quick look at the demonstration. We're going to use the ledge again. So we're going to start out, and it might be that you start out kind of quite close and then you stretch back. Okay, so you can do this to the wall, that's fine, but actually to a sofa is even better. But when you do that, I want you to remember that action that we got when we did this, that lovely openness in the lower back. So don't let the lower back dip in. Don't let your lumbar spine take over. So hands onto your support and walk back. Have the feet apart. So anything from hip width to mat width apart. And keep this breadth and broadness across the back sacral region as you extend forwards and open out the armpit region. Breathe. Fine inhalation, fine exhalation through the nasal passages. Keep your kneecaps and thigh muscles lifted. Press firmly down into the outer foot bones. Draw your shoulder blades down towards your back waist. So let the sides of the neck be soft and long. Rotate your upper arms from the inside out. That's one of the reasons we turn the hands so that you're on the little finger side of your hands, is so that you can get that rotational action. You don't kind of fold in towards your neck. All right, and slowly coming up out of the actions. Good. You're going to lie on the back. Bring one knee in towards you. Extend the other leg out and just take it out to the side slightly. Bring it back and then change legs. Out to the side, back to the center and release. Okay, so let's give that a go. Lying down on your back, lift and lengthen the back, the buttock region and lengthen it towards the heels. You can use your thumbs for that action. And now bring your right knee in towards your chest. Interlock the fingers at the head of the right shin. Relax your groin and see how much of the back buttock you can get in contact with the mat. Now you're not going to put your heel on the floor. You're going to extend your left heel away from you and hover the heel slightly above the floor. And then take that left heel slightly out to the left. So I've got my bricks in the way there, so I'm just going to move them out of the way. Bring it to the center. Bring that leg in. Now when we interlock the fingers, we're going to change the interlock of the fingers to hold on to the left leg. Stretch the right leg out. Don't drop the heel to the floor, just keep it hovering. It's not very high. Flex the foot on your left leg, flex the foot on your right leg. Take the right heel slightly out to the right. It's not coming far, just kind of slightly beyond the edge of your mat. And then back to the center, bring the leg in and releasing. Okay, so we're going to come into a Supta Padangusthasana, one action, but just using the hands. So interlock the fingers behind the back of the thigh. Just have a quick look at the screen so you can see what I'm going to do. So we're going to stretch that leg up, seeing can we hold on to the back of the thigh. If you've got tight hamstrings, you know, it may well be that your leg is kind of like that. Okay, and that's fine. It's a way of working. And then we're going to stretch this lower leg out. All right, so interlock the fingers behind your right thigh. Get the pelvis level. So when you start to mess around with this right leg, it tends to shorten the right waist. So lengthen the right waist. Now straighten your right leg as much as you can. If it's really an issue, you can always take a belt around the back of the thigh. And then extend. This time your heel is staying on the floor. You scrape your left heel away from you. Keep that left leg strong and straight and see, can you get the back of the calf, the back of the thigh maybe even, onto the floor. But don't push the back of the knee down. Those of you with over mobile knees, the temptation is going to be to push the back of the knee down to the floor. Don't do that. Release. Place that foot down. Bring your left leg in. Interlock the fingers in the other direction now. Straighten your left leg. Push the thigh away from you. Push the root of the thigh away from you. Lengthen in that left waist and then stretch your right leg out. Fine inhalation, fine exhalation through the nostrils. Feel that opening in the back body. Release the leg, place the feet on the floor and roll to your right. So we're going to come into a chair shavasana now. You can do this with your legs onto the sofa. You take your lower legs up. You can have a blanket for your head, that's fine. Or a foam pad, anybody whose head tips back. Very important to have that support if your head tips back. And then release the arms down. So this should feel very nice. Some of you may well need to have a little bit of support here underneath the back of the pelvis, and you can put a folded blanket or a cushion or a foam pad underneath the back of the pelvis. Partly depends on your thigh length and the height of your seat as to whether or not you need that. All right, so get yourself set up, come into your chair shavasana. Take the arms slightly out from the body, turn the palms to face the ceiling. Let the eyes close. Now I'm going to leave you in this pose. I want you to spend at least 5 minutes in it. You can spend up to 15 minutes in it, try not to fall asleep. But the focus of the pose is that internal action of the mind, but externally you are working on broadening that sacral region, just as we did right at the very beginning, where we were leaning over that table, over that stool, and getting that wonderfully open sensation in the base of the spine. We are trying to transform in yoga, and one of the ways that we transform our bodies and our minds and our breath is by opening up the channels in the body. So that base of the spine region is very important to open that out. There's a lot of spinal fluid, a lot of energy comes through that region. So to open it can be very helpful. So I'm going to leave you in this. Make sure that you spend enough time in your shavasana so that you can really start to become internalized and the brain can start to quieten and soften just as the body is becoming more open. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Namaste.